I love that we were able to talk about some more high-minded things in our current events. Let's get to the dirty, stupid, low-minded sounds pejorative. Let's
get to the
just get
tea.
into what folk is talking about.
Okay.
First and
What say you?
foremost, so back to all these canceled flights. Motherfucking
Uh-oh.
Southwest Airlines.
Motherfucking Southwest Airlines is on some ish.
They canceled all these flights, and now they are calling the police for people that are queuing up at the ticket counters at the gates to get information. So there's a video going viral right now of a cop threatening to arrest an not elderly, but a middle-aged Black woman who's an attorney, respectful, articulate. She's not loud. She's being nice. He's threatening to arrest her for trespassing. She's already through airport security. She's on a layover. She needs information, and she's going to a ticket counter because she was told to go to a ticket counter. She's going to the ticket counter at the gate.
Okay.
Okay. Now there's also the ticket counter that's before security, right? Apparently that's where they are supposed to go, but this guy is telling her and all these other folk, we're going to arrest you if you don't leave right now. You don't have a valid ticket. Well, they all just did have a valid ticket 5 minutes ago before they got canceled. And this guy's just being a total asshole.
Right. How are you going to tell people who are upset because of something your company did wrong how to handle that upset?
Right. And it's not even his company. He's a cop. He doesn't work for Southwest. That's the shitty part. So the fact that Southwest is, first of all, you're doing all this stuff. You're stranding people. People are stranded in airports. Their bags are stranded somewhere else. You're not helping them. And then on top of that, when they just get in line to politely try to get some information, you are calling the cops to have them shooed somewhere else.
Well, other than the weather conditions, Jay, what's contributing to Southwest specifically being overwhelmed like that? Other than obviously normal winter holiday travel and the freezing cold weathers and the blizzard that hit the Northeast, is there anything else? Like why? I mean, we know this holiday is coming every year, right?
Right. You're absolutely right. Exactly. Poor fucking planning. They literally don't have enough fucking planes. They don't have enough pilots. They don't have enough staff. They knew this shit was happening, and their system is so shitty that one or two things goes wrong, and now everything has to get shut down.
Trash.
Yeah. Everybody else was able to handle it. And remember, Southwest got a bunch of money for PPP.
They sure did.
And all that.
They sure did.
Yeah. So as far as I'm concerned,
that money obviously didn't go to planning.
No. Seems like there should be a national boycott. There shouldn't be a Southwest Airlines this time next year.
Right.
Shouldn't be one.
I mean, Southwest has plummeted to a notch above Spirit.
I don't even know if Spirit would call the cops to shoo people away. Even though
Spirit is a notch above Soul Plane. So
they're a shitty airline.
Right. Like they know they're a shitty airline, so they expect the bullshit.
Right. So moving on from that to one woman's reaction to losing her kids in the airport. This lady,
we're losing kids in airports, bro.
Well, here's the thing. Let's get into it. So here's the story, and then you give me your reaction. She's on a layover from somewhere to somewhere else, but she's in Miami. So this is not her home or her destination airport. Okay. Her two kids, she can't find them. And she's at the gate for this layover.
Okay.
She absolutely loses it. Starts screaming, starts throwing luggage, starts breaking stuff, starts obviously cursing at people and stuff. It got to the point where she went behind the kiosk of that ticket gate at, the ticket stand at the gate, grabbed the monitor, ripped the monitor out of that kiosk and threw it out.
So she turned into the Hulk.
Right.
Okay.
She says because she felt like no one was helping her find her kids. It turns out her kids just went to the fucking bathroom and didn't tell her. By the time they got back, mommy was in handcuffs in a layover. So now these kids are stuck. Who are they? There's no other adult for them.
Oh, you're joking, right?
I wish I were.
Did she overreact a tad bit?
Just a little bit, maybe.
Like a touch. Okay, I expect a reaction to losing your children. You lose your children, you're going berserk. You're gonna shut that airport down, and you're gonna find those babies. And I respect that. turning into She-Hulk when, these people already think that we have anger issues and all we do is throw shit. I don't know. And now your kids came back from the toilet and mommy's getting pinned down on the ground by law enforcement. I mean, was it worth it? I guess it would have been worth it if they were missing.
Right. If they had really gotten snatched up. But that's the
Right.
thing.
Then I think that's the thing. It would have been worth it. And I think people can be empathetic, like if they actually went missing. But if at the end of it all, they were just at White Castle.
And that's the thing. Airports, ever since 9/11, are, especially after security, are some of the safest.
Yeah, they're not playing with that popping off shit. They're not playing with that. You will get arrested at the airport. They're not playing with you there.
Right.
They're like state police there. They're not like gonna like giggle with you and be like, okay, we get it. Like, no.
Yeah. They have
you pop off at the airport, you're getting handcuffed. Yeah.
Yeah. They have cameras everywhere. So in terms of finding your kids are not
right. Like just give it a minute.
Exactly.
Right. There's cameras everywhere. I mean, it's like London. There's cameras everywhere in airports. So
right. You think your kids are the first ones to wander off without telling you where this shit probably happens in a major airport once a day.
Yeah. I get the anger, the frustration, and the fear. Any mother would understand that. Any human being who cares about children can understand that. Turning into the She-Hulk, I mean, they already think characters like Luke Cage are real, right? That's why they shoot us so much, because they genuinely, I think on some level, think like we'll withstand all the bullets. So because that perception is already out there, I think her behavior probably just validated that. Especially if the kids were just in the bathroom. If they went missing, I think I could really 100% get behind her and be like, look, go berserk. Those are your babies. But if they just came waltzing out of the bathroom or just came waltzing out of like the store with popcorn, I would have been like, law enforcement, before you take me to jail, do you mind letting me up for a minute so I can beat my children? Right? Because the kids came out to like this disaster.
Right.
And why? Because they didn't tell mommy that they were going to the bathroom. I mean, shouldn't that be something we've discussed prior to coming to the airport? Like, don't disappear without telling me.
Right. And
I mean, I don't know.
Who knows how disrespectful or dismissive the staff at the ticket desk were.
And they probably were. They're probably like, look, bitch, do you see what's going on in this airport right now? You want us to find two little pickaninnies with like 6,000 people displaced? Look at this. Doesn't this look like a refugee camp? What do you want me to do? I'm making minimum wage.
Right.
So I'm sure there was an American apathy that tipped the scale for her. And I don't doubt that at all.
Right. My only thing is, it's not the people at that counter. It's not their job to find missing kids. There's airport security for that. But
yeah, and there is airport security for that.
If they had taken some time to explain that to her, maybe it could have helped out. But at the same time, who knows if that would have helped with the bugging out. Not saying it's their fault or anything like that. It's just really unfortunate.
Yeah, agreed. It is unfortunate, and I'm sad for her. And I can imagine the fear. Like I said, as a mother, you turn around in something like an airport, and your children are missing. Like you come undone to your core. Having said that, you start throwing computer monitors and running behind kiosks and going ballistic on ticket counter people. You're going to get thrown down on the ground. You're going to get arrested. I mean, they're not having it.
Exactly.
They're not having
Let's move on to Tory Lanez versus Meg Thee Stallion. Tory Lanez found guilty. I can look up
he shot her ass in the foot.
Right.
They had text messages of people going, he shot her in the foot, bro. I mean, what are we disputing here? Megan Thee Stallion, didn't she get out of the car naked, bleeding from the foot?
That's the piece. Like, do we think he didn't do it? I am not of the
right. Do we think? I was like, who's thinking he didn't do it at this point? But for some reason, she was doubted. Do you know why the media or the public was so willing to doubt her at first?
I think the public was because it was from a lot of niggas. A lot of niggas just wanted to take Tory Lanez's side because Tory Lanez is a nigga.
So just good old fashioned misogyny.
Yeah, I think a lot of it was that.
Why is he shooting her in the foot in the first place?
Thank you.
Why is he shooting her? He's talking about bitch dance.
I don't know. And then there was all this stuff about, oh, well, Megan said they never had sex, and it turns out maybe they did. So like that actually matters about what. That's not material to whether or not he shot.
But no, I disagree with you there. it does change the context of the story if there is a sexual relationship. It's one thing if like you shoot me and you're my next door neighbor, and it's another thing you shoot me and comes to find out we've been having an affair for 3 years.
Okay, the context, yes, but in the eyes of the law, did you shoot her or not?
And he shot her ass.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
Do we know though what provoked him to the point of him shooting her ass?
There's so many different stories about that is not worth getting into unless we're going to do a whole nother episode on it.
No, and quite no insult to the storyline, but this is not something in the context of what's happening on planet Earth. This is probably not in the top 10 of levels of importance.
No, it's not.
Having said that, I wanted to shine some light on the fact that a Black woman was shot. There was no disputing she was shot. There was almost no dispute he did it because the people who witnessed it texted it.
Mm-hmm.
She got out bleeding. Everybody was half naked. And clearly they weren't studying for their final exams in the back of that SUV. So I want to highlight the fact that as a Black woman, she shouldn't have gone through all that just to be believed. What happened to me too, right? What happened to believe women? Something about that case triggered people in a way that wasn't positive towards her. And it seemed like a similar kind of effect to the Amber Heard case with Johnny Depp. Like Johnny Depp somehow, even though he was trash too, came out in much better light than she did, even though it was shown that they were both abusive.
Only one person threw a bottle out at somebody and lost the tip of their finger for it, and only one person took a shit in someone's bed. But setting that aside, the other
I didn't say the bitch wasn't tacky.
The other piece that's interesting to me about this Tory Lanez thing is apparently Tory Lanez's dad claims to be like a prophet of the Lord or whatever. And he's outside of the courtroom. He's upset. He's almost speaking in tongues and everything. And he's blaming Beyonce and Jay-Z. So this is the other piece that I'm worried about with our culture. And
why is he blaming them? Leave them and their occult worship alone.
Because Jay-Z owns Rock Nation. Rock Nation is a talent agency. Meg Thee Stallion is signed to Rock Nation. And so he's saying that Jay-Z and Beyonce, whose cumulative net worth is north of 2 billion, risk going to jail to try to influence this trial.
This bony ass Negro in the back of this SUV.
Yeah. So I'm worried. I worry about us and what it says about us if anything that happens that we don't like, particularly with an artist, we just blame it on Jay-Z and Beyonce, or we blame it on Diddy. We used to blame white people and the rich for everything, or the record labels. Now it's, well, we're just going to blame Gianni.
Now we blame all the Black people who we don't feel do enough.
Yeah. And then his dad went on this whole rant about, well, you claim you want to help Black men, but you only sign these artists that are so bad. And yes, sure, Jay-Z does that. But also, like, Tory Lanez, do you know what the fuck your son raps about?
Bro.
It's not like your son is a Christian rapper, Mr. I'm a prophet of the Lord. And I'm like, he literally like did an impromptu press conference where he's like calling down the righteous wrath of God on Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Bro, pump the brakes.
Yeah.
I mean, your son's not Malcolm X. Let's put some perspective on some shit here for a second, okay? You can't have an artist claim the type of, violence he does in his music and then turn around and act like you're the chosen one. Because, I don't know, there ain't enough Kool-Aid in this fucking drink for me to swallow that. So.
Thank you.
Let's see. Okay, so let's see what he said. The 2 weeks during which Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion's trial took place was tense. Most recently, it's been the artist's father, Sonstar Peterson, who is being markedly ridiculed online. Twitter users are having a field day with his condemnation of Rock Nation following his son's verdict. According to Hot New Hip Hop, the father said he blames the whole wicked system of Rock Nation, including Jay-Z. You say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded and bartered the souls of young men, and you're still doing it. Quote, unquote.
We'll see. I just worry about if that's where we're going to be for the culture in 2023. We're just going to blame Beyonce, Jay-Z for everything, and when we're not blaming them, we're going to blame Oprah, and we're not blaming her, we're going to blame
Tyler Perry.
Or Tyler Perry.
Right.
Y'all know half the stuff they do in silence.
Right. Unless, I mean, do you think Lanez's dad is trying to allude to the whole Jay-Z, Beyonce, Illuminati thing? You think that's what he's alluding to when he says Jay-Z has bartered the souls of young men?
I don't think he's the type of dude to allude to anything. I think if he wants to say that, he does not seem to shy away from the cameras. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if he wanted to say that. He would just hop on camera and do it.
Right. And then to your point, so I guess there was some back and forth about whether or not they were friends or lovers. And accordingly, they say he was found guilty of shooting what they call his former girlfriend.
There it is.
So was it the lies that made her compromised? That she didn't want to own originally the fact that there was a sexual relationship?
I don't think in the eyes of the court it mattered, but in the eyes of niggas, it was like, see, she lying. And I don't think she lied under oath. I don't think she perjured herself or anything like that. I think in some interview some long time ago, she said she never had sex with Tory. And then in the in the deposition or when she was on the witness stand, she admitted that they had sex. So once that got out, then people were like, see, she lied in that interview 2 years ago or whatever. I don't know.
Right. And at the same vein, I mean, God, whatever happened to some class? Maybe she just didn't want to kiss and tell. Maybe she just wanted to put her business out there. I mean, does she have to make a public announcement every time she catches a cock?
Thank you.
God, leave a woman alone, man. Can we live our lives for once? Let a girl catch some D without having to make a public service announcement. Lord have mercy.
Seriously.
Ugh.